And yeah, bro, then she told me to suck her toes. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that.
Bro, why not? Are you crazy?
Whoa, 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 what the fuck? Bro, hold on, I'll call you right back. Jesus Christ. So in the last video, I decided to talk about Gen Z and, the whole relationship and dating game at the moment. And you guys absolutely blew that one up on Reddit. I posted it and we got about 200 something replies and 54,000 views. Like, that's absolutely wild. But I'm really happy I got to hear some of your responses and see what you guys have experienced or your advice to people who have had a really rough time in 2025 when it comes to dating, or in Gen Z in general. And a lot of these things could be long-term or short-term, or it could even be a situationship, unfortunately, but everyone experiences something, so it's good that we have something to relate to. But let's get right into the responses. Our first response by Help Me Please XOXO said, I've had the same relationship since I was 18, almost 5 years now, so I can't really speak on what dating is like now. But it was shit in 2020. I'm a decently attractive woman, so attention is easier to get. However, a genuine connection is still just as hard to find. I've never been one for casual sex. I remember that I was talking to 5 different people, men and women, before I met my boyfriend. Not a single one was interested in anything more than sex. Some even lied about their intentions long enough to get me to trust them. I lost my virginity in college to a dude who took me on dates, stayed up late every night talking to me, and who I built up a connection with for over a month. The second we had sex, he dipped. The sex was excruciating, by the way, and I bled for 4 hours afterwards. So I did not have sex again until I was with my boyfriend for 6 months. Men and women face different challenges in dating. For men who actually want to date, it's getting any date at all. For women who want a genuine relationship, it's finding a genuine soul amongst a sea of dishonest and manipulative people. Because our challenges are so opposite, it's hard for the opposing sex to really picture what each other's struggles are like. The best analogy I've ever heard is that dating as a man is like looking for water in a desert, and dating as a woman is like looking for clean water in a swamp. Man, okay, so this comment really hits on something I think a lot of people miss when we talk about dating in 2025. First off, respect to you for holding down a relationship since you were 18. That's basically ancient history in dating years. Like, you've lived through the pre-dating app epidemic era and skipped all the post-pandemic chaos. You avoided the trenches, but you still remember the smell. It's like wild. And that whole story talking about the multiple people and none of them wanting anything serious, that right there, that's the problem. We've got this weird cultural thing now where people can just put on a whole performance and dates, late night calls, good morning texts, and the entire time the only goal is to get you in bed. And that's not dating, that's just method acting for a role nobody asked for. Also, can we talk about how messed up it is that someone can literally fake intentions for over a month just to ghost after sex? Like, imagine if we treated jobs that way. You show up, train for weeks, finally get the position, and then your boss just vanishes into thin air. No 2 weeks notice, just gone. Poof, disappeared. And you nailed it with the different struggle things. For guys who are genuinely trying to date, it's like, please, can I just get a date? For women, it's like, please, can I just find someone who isn't lying through their teeth? Same game, just completely different rule book. And it's so hard to actually empathize with the other side because your challenges don't line up. But that swamp versus desert analogy, chef's fucking kiss, bro. That's exactly it. So yeah, 2020 dating was bad, but 2025, same energy, just with better filters and worse attention spans. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But let's get on to the next one. In this response by T Plays It Cool, he says, it is indeed, but the internet and online dating plus COVID could be to blame. Most of us want to stay inside or just don't want to put the effort in. They fantasize the idea of marriage or relationship, and then when they have the chance, they give up the moment they get into one. And let's not forget that hookup culture has also caused a further division. And speaking of the bigger picture, this comment really nails a huge part of why dating feels so broken right now, because the internet, online dating, and yeah, COVID, that combo changed everything. I feel like we're living this weird post-social era where people want the fantasy of a relationship more than they want the reality of one. Like, they'll literally daydream about marriage and cute dates and nights out and being goals on Instagram or TikTok, but the second they get a real chance at it, the second it requires effort, compromise, or God forbid, patience, they're out. Like, whoa, I didn't sign up to actually have some sort of human connection. I just wanted the aesthetic. And like, bro, the hookup culture hasn't helped either. It's like the dating pool was already split in half between people who are actually looking for something and people who aren't. But now we've got this third party category, people who think that they're looking for something, but really they just want novelty and dopamine, which might be worse, honestly, because they waste your time while convincing themselves that they're a good person. And it's basically a lose-lose on both situations. It just doesn't help anything. And this next response here we have from a girl named Organic Soft 843. She says, from a girl's perspective in America at least, and this is coming from someone who no matter what life throws at me is able to keep a stable love life somehow. There's a male loneliness epidemic going on that I personally think stems from the fact that America threw Roe v. Wade out the window in an attempt to fix the declining birth rates. Lots of women decided, okay, then we're just not gonna have sex. I'm not gonna be in relationships at all until I don't need men, etc., etc. And now lots of women that are single realize they're happier alone. Both women and men are lonely, but only men are facing the loneliness epidemic, as it seems women can find peace in being single and living alone. And this comment kind of adds another layer I think we don't talk about enough, especially from a woman's perspective in America. She brings up the so-called male loneliness epidemic, and yeah, whether you agree with the exact cause or not, it's pretty clear that something shifted. Her take is that Roe v. Wade got overturned and a lot of women basically said, cool, then I'm just not gonna risk it. No sex, no relationships, I'll be fine on my own. And honestly, it kind of worked for them because now a lot of women are single and have realized that they're actually happier that way. So here's the dynamic. Both men and women feel lonely, but for whatever reason, only men getting the epidemic headline. And maybe that's because women in general can find peace in their independence a little easier, you know? But meanwhile, for a lot of guys, being single feels like a void they have to fill. Which, if you think about it, it's kind of tragic, but also very eye-opening. And it means that right now, dating isn't about finding someone you like, it's about unlearning the idea that you need someone to be okay. So yeah, add that to the pile of the swamp, the desert, the hookup amusement park, and now half the population realizing that they just prefer living in their own cabin in the woods instead. And to be completely honest, who wouldn't? Like, come on now. The only thing that would do was kill our social skills even more than it already is. And speaking of that, this comment by lowerkick268 says, it definitely is a lot harder than when my parents were in my age circle around the 2000s, but back then everyone hung out with each other more. There was less of a stigma about where it was acceptable to meet girls. People had the social skills to actually talk to each other more. There was less of a stigma about where it was acceptable to meet girls. People had the social skills to actually talk to each other more. And now we don't really have anywhere to hang out and to meet people. Dating apps are basically the only choice to meet girls, and even if you do match, they'll just ghost you. I had to explain to my parents why it's so much harder than when they were young, and they definitely understand now and don't bother asking when I'm gonna try to get a girlfriend. If I wanted to play games, I just turn on my computer. My experience asking girls out in the last 3 years was equivalent to playing Cyberpunk at launch. And then there's this comment, which perfectly captures the generational gap we're dealing with. Like our parents circa in 2000s, completely different world. People actually hung out in person. You can meet someone at the park, at the mall, even at work without it feeling weird or creepy. There wasn't really this mental checklist of acceptable meeting locations for relationships. And, you know, this is a big one. People actually had the social skills to strike up a conversation without needing 3 days to work up the courage and Google how to flirt casually. Now, we don't have those organic hangout spots anymore. It's dating apps or dating apps. Like, we have nothing else. If you do match with someone, then it's like a 50-50 shot they'll ghost you before you even decide a place to meet, which, by the way, is the most efficient way to waste both of our times. And I love how he puts it onto his parents, trying to explain why dating now is so much harder than it was for them. And they finally got it. So, like, they stopped asking when he was going to find a nice girlfriend, and honestly, that's a win. So it is what it is. Because unless you've been in the modern dating scene, you can't really explain it. It's like trying to describe a video game glitch to someone who's only played Monopoly. You know what I mean? And back to what I was saying about getting ghosted before you even get a place to meet. Like, I don't really understand what happened to the concept of, okay, I like you, you like me. In order to get to know each other, we go on a date. That's the whole purpose of dates. So why are we just, why are we texting for like 3 months? Or, you know, getting to know each other over the phone when we should be doing that in person? It just ruins the chance of building something real. By the time you meet in person, you're gonna have nothing else to talk about because you've done it over text, and it's just less sincere. So I don't understand. And for this guy, I feel so bad for him, bro. G-Sum the Patient left a comment here that says, out of the matches I've ever had, 3 of them immediately unmatched me after I said hi. And the other one unmatched me after I asked her what kind of craft she likes to do because she said she likes to do crafts for fun. Like, Are we serious? At least give the guy a chance, man. Like, I have no idea what this guy looks like, and you know, some people might not be other people's types, and that's completely fine. But he tried, at least. He tried. And it's just rough, because it's like you literally tried to have a normal conversation, a friendly conversation, even tailoring it to something that she enjoyed, and still get unmatched. That's like showing up to the cookout with your favorite dish and they slam the door in your face. Like, come on now. That's low-key, I don't know, low-key that says way more about them than it does about you, to be honest. So keep your head up, King. You'll find one eventually, bro. You're fine. Oh my God, I feel so bad, bro. Bro, I bet you were such a sweet guy too in the text, man. I'm so sorry I had to go through that. And I know I talk about it a lot, like I bring up this word a lot in the past video, but reposts. Reposting, I understand that a lot of people want to find a way to organically give out their feelings without saying it, and they find a video that they relate to. However, reposting is a really scary place. Like, seeing somebody's repost, because not only does someone just go through a repost and see who you are as a person without having to actually know you, if they've stalked your repost before you even knew that they knew you existed, someone could basically mold themselves into what you would really want and turn into someone or pretend to be someone that you like. So please, 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 please be smart about the people that you want to date or experience. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the love and support I've received on these past videos, man. It really means a lot, and I'm going to continue doing my hobby. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment for things you want to hear next. Bye-bye.